Oh, welcome back, boys and girls. I thought I was going to have all kinds of dramatic video, shock and awe to tell you about Hurricane Dorian, or I was going to stand outside like I used to with a microphone and talk in a voice that is not found in nature and reference things over my shoulder, specifically surfers about to drown in the surf because we're having a hurricane, and it was kind of a non-event. Now, it was a huge event for the Bahamas, a tragic event, but in North Carolina, I don't know what happened. I mean, weather people, God love them, I loved ours, but they have Doppler 5 million, and they can tell you when it's a sneeze over in Africa, but they have no idea how it's going to shake out when it's practically at your back door. It was basically a bad thunderstorm here. So I made it through, Wilmington made it through, the Babe Bus made it through, we're fine. The biggest traumatic shit show since we last talked had nothing to do with Dorian. It had to do with me getting on a plane. A plane and a seat on a plane that really nobody should have let me anywhere near. Okay, so remember at the 6-month anniversary, I told you about this badass company who's doing really cool things, who saw my YouTube videos, hired me to kind of train them and teach them how to tell the story of their company. Well, I did that, and then I guess they hadn't had enough Casey Roman. They hadn't had enough stress, enough trauma of being in my presence. So they hired me again. And this time, they flew me out to Kansas. Yeah, Kansas, where like Auntie M is. Huh, crazy. So I get to shoot this neat video of like what they're doing out in Kansas. But they went above that. They went above just like the sheer joy of allowing me to have the air conditioning of a hotel, because let me tell you something, it is still hot as all get out in North Carolina. The van is hot as hell. This is just kind of like a part of being van life, hashtag van life in the summer. So on the way back, they tell me that I'm not flying economy. I'm not flying in the basic bitch seats where I usually fly. I'm flying up in first class. I look at my seat, it is 1D. I am the first person in the plane. I have never flown first class, business class, any class except basic bitch class in the back. I have walked through first class plenty of times. Yeah, you know, when you like awkwardly or like shuffling your bags along and the people in first class, they don't make eye contact because somehow they magically already have their beverages. Yeah, that's usually me. I do not have the financial power to spend the equivalent of a month's worth of rent to sit up in first class. I have the financial power to sit back right next to the toilet, the back bathroom on the plane, so I can hear the chorus that the human body makes all throughout the flight as people go in and out of there. Do you know that people do not wait to go to the bathroom or to sneeze until the cabin door closes? It's very odd, but it's true. This is not part of my world. I don't do this, but I'm like thrilled to death. Like, this is a big deal. Like, I've never gotten to do this before because I can't afford it. And it's like totally this gracious company who has been just awesome to me. Like, they sponsored my first class, business class, whatever class experience. So I'm like, I am so stoked. Okay, so I get on this plane and I'm sitting in 1D, and it is like painfully obvious to everyone else in first class that this is my first time. And I'm like kind of dramatic with my reactions, everything. The woman sitting next to me, I am convinced, is a model. She's like 6 foot forever, long, everything is long. She's beautiful. Her like hair is like disheveled in a way that's sexy and indifferent, and like my hair is disheveled in a way that's like dirty and homeless. And I mean, she just like every time, you know, they fawn on you, like they never leave you alone in first class. Back in the basic bitch session, like you have to like can I, excuse me, like, oh God, first class, they're like, what do you need? It's amazing. It's almost kind of irritating because they're constantly asking if you need things. And every time they ask, she's like, no, I don't need. She refused everything. And I was like, lady, stop. Do you have any idea how much this seat costs? If you don't want, she ordered a hot water with lemon. I was like, get the tea. I will take the tea bag if you don't want it. I'll use it later, but get the tea bag. Do you know how much this costs? We get a meal on a 2-hour plane I'm gonna say it again, a meal on a 2-hour plane. And she didn't want it. She like gingerly opened pistachios from a bag and ate those. And I was like, I have Tupperware in my suitcase. I will take your meal. I do bring Tupperware in my suitcase anytime I travel because I will pilfer anything that is complimentary or that I can get my hands on. Those little bottles of shampoo, mine. The rolls in the dinner basket that nobody ate, mine. Like my inner 85-year-old comes out because I don't like waste. So I'm like always prepared to take it home. Take it home. I'll use it in the van later. Give it to me. No, but she was like luscious and perfect. And then there's me. And like everything that happened in first class, I just had this like reaction to. The first thing I did in the get on the plane, 1D. So I'm like practically like flying this thing. And I stretch out and I've got my legs out and I'm like making all these comments like, oh my God, I have acreage in here. Acreage! It was unbelievable. I could like not touch the sexy model next to me. Oh, it was fantastic. So I saw all this space and I threw my backpack down in front of me. I didn't even put it under the seat. I don't have to. I'm in first class. Do whatever I want. And the stewardess was like, ma'am, you have to put your bag up above. I'm like, y'all have rules up here? I thought that was the deal. You could do whatever you wanted here. Nope. Gotta put the bag up. They also make you put on your seatbelt in first class too, which is another stupid airline rule. I don't know why they still make you do that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for flying. And in the event that this vessel is plummeting into Earth and death is imminent, please make sure your safety belt is fastened because we don't want anyone to bump an elbow. Stupid. And they ask you constantly if you want more drinks and like more of this, and I'm the only person who asked how much a refill costs. So it was like painfully obvious to everyone around me that this was my first time in first class because I was just elated with they brought me like a little bowl of cashews. You would have thought I'd never seen a cashew in my life. And I asked her, I'm like, is this free? Because I know how much these cost. I've been to the grocery store. This is like $8 worth of cashews. Yes, ma'am, it's free. Oh, I was absolutely a mess. The man next to me, like everyone in first class, like they're very serious because they're professionals and I'm not. He gets out his laptop and he's in his suit and he's doing like very professional work. So I want to blend in. I want to fit in with first class. This may never happen again. So I get out my laptop, open up my screen, quickly minimizing what I actually had up there, which was a YouTube video of a raccoon trying to wash off cotton candy in a little bowl of water and looking so upset every time it disappeared. Nope, shut that down. Get out your editing. Look serious. Look like you belong here. I also realize, once I see who's around me, that I probably should have dressed better. Maybe at the very least, my non-Walmart leggings. Perhaps a bra. Probably a bra. Maybe next time. I hadn't totally embarrassed myself in first class until she brought out the tongs. This beautiful stewardess, she's being super nice to me because she can tell that like, I don't know what I'm doing. And she comes over and she smiles and she has a tray. It's a lovely tray. And she puts the tray in front of me and takes a lovely pair of tongs and picks up a hot towel and hands it to me. I take that hot towel from her and I hand it right back. And I say quite confidently, oh no, I didn't spill anything. And everyone who was in earshot of that mess started laughing. Because it was funny to everybody else except me. I just don't belong up there. But it was really, really neat, and like I had a great time. It was an experience. I feel like everyone should get to experience sitting in first class and have people fawn over you at least once in your life. And the second I'm back to paying for the flights again, I will be way back there in 52Z, back next to the bathroom with my people. So we are going to get back to van videos, I promise. I'm just like in this weird transition time, and it's phenomenal that I have some work coming in because I'm pretty confident that the babe bus has found her next mom who's like super excited about her. Because I don't want just anybody buying this van. Just like I didn't want anybody just buying my house. I want someone who, to me, these are like pieces of art that I made. So I want someone who's going to love it as much as I do and who's going to use it as much as I do. So, and I think I have found the next babe bus mom. I'm stoked. but I'm not going to say anything final until the keys are exchanged. I learned that lesson on my house. But that said, because of the tariffs, because of just the cost of everything going up, the cost to do another conversion, well, the cost to do whatever I'm going to do is like going to be more expensive. So I am like super grateful to have the work coming in. You know, that said, anytime I talk about being home or selling the van, like throughout the comment section, or I'll get a bunch of emails where people are like, I can't believe you're giving up van life and travel. And I'm like, where did you see that in what I said? Did you see the words coming out of my mouth that said that? No, I never said that. This is just a transition period. Everybody, including you, if you do the damn thing and try out van and travel, is going to go through this, where you go through the first period, you take what you learned, you figure out what is going to suit your needs for the next round, and you make adjustments, whether that's selling it, remodeling it, whatever. So that's where I am. I haven't figured out when the next round of Van 2.0 and where that van will be going and like what I'm going to focus on the stories, because, you know, we just had a hurricane and I just insulted the idea of first class trying to get to Kansas. So there's a lot going on. Anyway, I've got videos coming down the pipe. We got to talk about the one thing that I would have done very differently on the road, that I figured out in my brain what is the one thing I would tell someone I loved, someone I cared about, if they were about to do what I did, what I would have done differently. And then after 6 months on the road, reflections on RV versus schoolie versus van versus Airbnb. Because now I have, you know, I've had some experiences. I've seen what I've seen. I know what works kind of and what doesn't. And I've talked to a bunch of people about it. So we got all that coming through. But in the meantime, I got to go edit this video for this company, which I'm really stoked about because the first couple minutes of it are like a lot of fun. Thank you everybody for hanging in there with me, for listening to the shit show that is my life. If you get a chance to fly in first class, please just do it at least once in your life and ask the airline attendant about the woman who thought that the hot towel was to clean up spilled items on her tray, because I'm pretty sure most of American Airlines staff has now heard that story. Buckle up, kids. We got a lot ahead of us. I'll talk to y'all later.